Hello everyone, this is Hopespoir doing another World of Warships commentary, this time on the Tier 9 French battleship Jean Bart, which is considered a premium ship from the arsenal, which I just recently bought for Cole. I've played about 15 games in it, and I do like the ship, the Jean Bart, but it's quite situational. You're going to have some really good games in this ship, and you're going to have some games that are quite mediocre. It's very dependent on whether or not you are going to be able to take advantage of the reload booster effectively. Because otherwise, it's basically a Richelieu with a couple changes. The reload booster is really what makes this ship special and gives it that extra effectiveness. As you can see right now, with Superintendent and the premium version of the consumable, you do have 5 charges of the reload booster. So if you're able to put these to good use, which really means good AP volleys with the reload booster, then you can have some really great games, which borderline on being overpowered, OP. Is the Jean Bart OP after 15 games in the ship? I'd say that it is sometimes OP, and it is sometimes not much better than what I imagine a Richelieu to be. To be honest, I don't have the Richelieu, so it's just going on what I see of the ship and what friends have told me about the Richelieu. The issue with the Jean Bart is that it has similar health pool and guns to the Richelieu. Right? So you just have the 2 front turrets carrying 8 15-inch guns. 15-inch guns in Tier 9 can be a little weak on occasion, especially when you have a lot of cruisers that you would normally be able to overmatch if you had 16-inch guns, and now you can't, so you are stuck shooting possibly HE at them for periods of the game. Okay, so as this game starts, I hit my speed boost right away. My intention was to go wide to try to get a shot around the island in sea to create an angle, because a lot of times cruisers or destroyers will kind of come around or hide around that corner, and if I can get wide enough, I can get shots up there. I wasn't paying enough attention, and the Gunai kind of got in my way, and then he said he's coming with me, but that slowed me down a bit. I didn't realize that I had HE loaded, and so this volley, at first I was thinking it should have been AP, but as a matter of fact, because it's a Prince Eugen, I believe the Prince Eugen has 27mm armor, so HE with the angle that he had was actually not a bad choice. Whereas in every other Tier 9 battleship, basically you would want to be firing AP in that situation. So I announced my intention to kind of like move up fairly far here, and the Gunai said that he was going to come with me. I start having an opportunity to have some reasonably good shots here. As you can see, I just used my reload booster because the Prince Eugen is quite broadside to me, putting AP shells out. The damage I get is okay, right? That was my extra volley right there. It's an extra 6,300. It wasn't great. It's obviously better than not having it, but the reload booster will sometimes prove to be very effective and give you a lot of extra damage, and sometimes not. Obviously here at 6.6 kilometers, my priority is going to be killing the Jervis. Right, so what happens here is I came up close to this island, and I started having these shooting opportunities. So instead of sailing around the island and missing out on a bunch of shots, I decided to stop here and just shoot. Because, you know, why would I rob myself of opportunities to shoot to go around the island? Unfortunately, the Gunai didn't really notice this or didn't have this communicated, and he's just pushing up the flank. Considering that the enemy has a Prince Eugen, which is a premium tier 8, it has a heal, so that makes it quite, you know, survivable. A Kronstadt, which is definitely very survivable. It's basically like it's a battle cruiser, so it's like a hybrid between a cruiser and a battleship. And they have a Missouri. We're fairly outgunned here. Now, one thing that's happening here is the Missouri is pushing up pretty hard, along with the Kronstadt. And I think what they wanted to do was kill any destroyers that we had there with their use of their radars, which is exactly what happened. Would really love it if more destroyer captains, especially at these top tiers, were aware of what radar is and how not to get just killed by it immediately. As you can see, our team already has No destroyers left. I don't know how this keeps on happening to me in my games, but it does. If you watch my other videos, they're often filled with losing my destroyers early. This is just something that I've been facing a lot recently. It's extremely frustrating. Now we're down 4 ships right at the beginning already. Being down all our destroyers is always very challenging. So this is a tough spot. You can see the Gneisenau finally is turning back here. I believe I just did recently signal him to get back. No, this Atlanta really kind of saved the Gneisenau here, I think. Our Atlanta, which is hiding around, is actually making really good use of the Atlanta. Atlanta is really squishy. He doesn't want to be out in the open against a Prince Eugen, a Kronstadt, or a Missouri, even on their own, right? Never mind the 3 of them. So he's actually doing very well here, landing those torpedoes and finishing off the Missouri as he came around the island, making good use of cover to be effective while not exposing his really squishy ship. So now I'm coming out with Missouri dead, and I'm trying to engage the Prince Eugen and the Kronstadt behind him if I get the chance. I make a slight mistake here. Previously with the Missouri alive, I realized that we were pretty outgunned, especially after the loss of our destroyer. And I'm still kind of stuck in this mindset, which is why I'm turning away here, that I need to be kiting away and I need to be careful. Suddenly, I realize right around here that what am I doing? You know, we have a Gneisenau who's obviously been hurt earlier from his push-up. I still have a lot of health, and we actually have more firepower now. We have the initiative on C. I should not have turned away because I want the Kronstadt really to be focused on me and not the Gneisenau. The Gneisenau has taken quite a lot of damage, and I really do not want him to die. So, as you can see there, he's only down to like 7,000 health. He really needs an opportunity to be able to use his repair parties and heal. And at this very moment, I'm kind of thinking, oh no, this is definitely a strategic error on my part. You know, I started kiting away when I didn't need to. I was somewhat wary of the torpedoes still from the Prince Eugen, and that's partly what made me turn away at first, and then I just continued to kite because I still had that mindset earlier. Now I'm thinking, okay, like, I'm also looking at the rest of the map now, and our flank at A has collapsed. It took me a little while to decide to turn back this way because I was trying to decide which way the Kronstadt was likely to go. Was he likely to head towards B, which would have been a good idea, or was he going to come wide here? I didn't want to decide to go around this island and then have him run off. But he's kind of stayed around here long enough that I've decided that I'm going to speed boost to try to get out here as quickly as possible, which I've used. My reload booster is ready. So I've loaded AP. This is exactly, and so what you're about to see is exactly what makes the Jean Bart strong. And these are the moments that you need in this ship in order to make it kind of in line with the other Tier 9 premiums. So I'm lining him up. I've got my AP and my reload booster ready, and I'm speed boosting. I'm trying to get an angle on him. I see that he's sideways to me. And here we go. Reload booster active. So I'm about to get another volley. First volley, 1 Citadel. What was that, 17,000 damage, I believe it was? And my guns are ready again. Second volley. 2 more Citadels for 28,000. Basically just took him from whatever, how much health he had, like 3/4, 2/3, and then the reload booster is still working now. I get my 3rd volley already. There's no way he's getting away from this, obviously. And there you go. Just absolutely devastated him with the reload booster there. I got 3 volleys off in the space of 2, and it's moments like this that make this ship strong. Okay, so I feel a little better now. I still feel bad about that mistake I made with the Gneisenau. Now I see that our Atlanta, who made that really good play earlier, has moved into B. I don't like this. The Neptune was trying to cap it earlier, and he's facing away, which gives him a chance to get away if his cap attempt fails. Okay, so I just saw those AP shells go across. I know that there's a Cossack around here, and I just saw him fire AP probably at the Atlanta. So I actually expect the Cossack to stay there and continue firing AP, but he doesn't. Somehow he notices me and he realizes, or kind of decides to come for me. And this is my kind of oh no moment. I expected him to stay behind that island, shooting AP at the Atlanta, and I would deal with him later. Unfortunately, he came out here much earlier than I expected. So I'm doing right now, immediately, the first thing I think is, how can I best evade these torpedoes? So I kind of went ahead a bit and then did a hard turn to port, and I managed to take only one, which isn't too bad, especially since I started my repair party just before it hit. Obviously changed H immediately, and just give him a good blap. I really wish I had my reload booster ready there, but I didn't. But my cooldown for my speed boost just came through. So I'm speed boosting, which really helps you accelerate when you're moving slowly. I want to get as close as possible to the Cossack. I'm just sailing through the corner of his smoke here, so I'm undetected for a moment. So I get a little bit of a jump on the Cossack here, and easily finish him off. That was a bit of a scary moment, but that was a very important moment there. Coming around C with a reload booster, just absolutely devastating that Kronstadt, which was just so much fun. I mean, those are the moments that you live for in the Jean Bart. That's the whole reason to get this ship. And then obviously finishing off the Cossack felt nice as well. Having that speed boost to kind of pick up speed when I was moving slowly to chase after him was also pretty fun, I have to say. So now I'm still speed boosted. I'm trying to clear this island as quickly as possible to get shots on the Gneisenau. I was hoping that he would sail straight there, and I would have been able to pop my reload booster coming around the island, and then I could have done the same trick on the broadside Gneisenau as I did to the Kronstadt. Unfortunately, he started to turn, but he's turning enough that I'm like, oh, wow, okay, I'm going to get to use my reload booster again. And I just activated it. Unfortunately, I didn't get a full volley off because he grounded himself just at the last moment. I wasn't expecting that to happen, so I had to readjust my aim there. Just after my first, I first fired my first volley, I was like, ooh. Now, I don't know why I'm not hitting very well here. I think that, you see that terrain indicator there? It's showing me that I'm shooting at terrain. I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that my volleys were just all over the place there. They just didn't really connect. And I don't know if that's a bug in the game. Thinking that I was shooting at terrain and giving me some kind of weird dispersion or something, or just bad luck, bad RNG on my dispersion, but that was kind of annoying. That's not how I want my reload boosters to work on a broadside ship at that range. Okay, so now this Gneisenau, who had previously healed quite a lot of his damage after taking a lot, because some of it because I kind of misplayed that slightly and didn't tank for him. Luckily he did survive and heal, but now he's pushing in. I don't like this. Obviously there's no way he's going to survive that push against the Leon and the King George. I don't know if he could have avoided it. I don't know how far in he was when he realized what was going on. As obviously at some point he was past the point of no return, so basically I think he was just like, let me just see if I can get close enough to get some torpedoes off or something, because I'm overextended. There's no way I'm getting out of this. I don't like the fact that the Prince Eugen followed him in, and it looks like the Chapayev is also following him in. So the Prince Eugen, there's no way the Prince Eugen is going to survive this. I just can't. I'm desperately trying to get here in time to help out the Prince Eugen. You know, but I'm thinking, like, there's no way I'm going to do enough damage to this Leon and the King George to save his life. And I was like, oh no. But he does manage to land those torps on the Leon, so I almost wish he didn't in a way, because the Leon was really kind of broadside to me, and I would have absolutely devastated him with my next volley. But I can't complain, especially with how close this game is. I really should start working on the King George, so it's definitely a good thing that he landed those torpedoes. I like that the Chapayev now is coming in after me because the Monarch is chasing in. The Chapayev he really should be trying to just avoid damage as best as possible. So here I'm using some AP. I get some good hits on the King George and some not so great hits. A couple of them are my fault. I was trying to aim for parts of the ship that I could overmatch, and I just missed one of them completely. and I'm missing some others. I'm kind of thinking like he's eventually going to get good fires on me. Some of these volleys are working, some of them are not. Like that one was not bad. That was about 9,000, 8,000 damage. So I was thinking, forget it. You know, I'm actually just going to switch to HE for consistency and finish him off here. Because I can aim fairly center. There you go. That's 5 penetrations. I don't mind the line that the Shapayev is taking at this moment. Basically, I just want him to survive, because I'm going to need his help against the Monarch, who has like full health. This is pretty good. I still have 2 heals left, and a speed boost. The score's still not looking fantastic, but if I can kill this King George off, we hold 2 caps. It'll take the Monarch a while to get into any cap. There we go, finally managed to finish that King George off. Immediately, I'm going to punch my speed boost, my engine boost. I'm going to pick up as much speed as I can and get into A as quickly as possible. I don't know why Shapayev just sat there. I wanted him to sail through. Now he's, like, you know, the Monarch's basically right next to him. He basically has to land torpedoes now, or he's absolutely screwed. Okay, so obviously I'm going to hit my repair party as quickly as possible, because if I eventually do have to fight this Monarch, I want to get as much of my health back as possible. Obviously the speed boost is to get into A to start capping that. We're still down points. Point victory is totally possible here. I believe, I'm not absolutely certain at this point, but I believe that if we hold 2 caps or 3 caps, depending on if the Monarch stays in there or not. But even, I'll have A capped before he can cap B. So, you know, for a while we'll have at least 2 caps sticking to a frozen cap. And there's still over 3 minutes left. I think that even if he kills the Shapayev off, we might be able to win on points. I'm not positive about that, so that's why I'm kind of not sure what to do here. If I knew that we could win on points for sure, I should just turn south and use the islands for cover and just run from him, cap A and just run from him. I'm not sure though, because after he killed the Shapayev, I knew that that was obviously going to give the enemy team points, and it was going to take points away from us. So now I'm doing this weird zigzag, which in retrospect, this is a bit of a mistake. Especially because I'm non-committal, right? Like, if you look at my front turrets, they're just pointed kind of in front of my ship. So if the Monarch was to show up, I wouldn't be able to shoot at him for a while. Like, I really should decide whether I'm going to turn starboard or port and just turn my guns all the way so they're ready to shoot at him when and if he appears. So I finally decide to turn to port. Partly because I'm looking at the score and I'm thinking, oh, there's 2 minutes and something left. The Monarch left B, so we have 3 cap sticking points. We can win this on points. So I finally decide to run, but it's a little too late now. My guns aren't even turned yet, like I was saying before, right? Like, I'm still turning my front turrets, which kind of sucks. So I'm trying not to ground myself here. I've still got a heal coming up. Cooldown's finished. I've changed to HE because the Monarchs bow onto me. And look at this. It's like basically aimed perfectly, and this dispersion, I didn't hit it. I mean, what was that? And the thing is, sometimes that happens when you use your reload booster as well, and sometimes with AP, kind of like with the Gneisenau, I believe it was earlier. Perfectly broadside Gneisenau at whatever distance he was, like 9.8 kilometers or something, and I did minimal damage to him. It was horrible. At this point, I'm pretty confident. We've already passed the enemy team in points. I don't need to worry about that. I'm pretty sure there's no way he's going to manage to kill me. I'm changing to AP just in case she shows up. I still have a heal. So in the last few seconds of this game, I'm going to say my impressions of the Jean Bart. It's a really fun ship to play at times because of the reload booster. Is it overpowered? Compared to the Tech Tree Tier 9s, yeah, I think it's probably a little overpowered. But it's very situational. There's going to be games where it's completely not overpowered, even compared to the Tech Tree ships. It really depends on whether you get opportunities to effectively use your reload booster. Compared to the Musashi, which is still available in the arsenal, I'd say the Musashi is clearly the stronger ship. Clearly the stronger ship. Is without question, is the more OP ship for sure. The Musashi clearly is OP. The Jean Bart is only OP certain games. Luckily, here the Monarch sails out broadside. I get the opportunity to have a couple last major volleys on him, and I think I end up with 210,000 damage. And not bad for one of my early games in the Jean Bart. It's definitely capable of more. Like I said, like, you know, in a game where you can get good use of your reload booster, it can completely be OP. I can see really large damage games in this ship, but in general, no. In general, the Musashi is going to be by far the more powerful ship, more OP ship. It definitely is OP. So if you were to ask me which one was more OP, you didn't have either one of them, I would definitely say get the Musashi if you're looking for a ship that's just overpowered. Okay, so looking at the results here, 211,000 damage, 116 main battery hits, which is quite a lot, 65 penetrations. Not too many citadels, 3 citadels, but also, you know, you fire a mix of HE and AP in this ship, so 6 fires to go along with that from the HE. 2,625 base XP. It's not bad, not a great amount. I mean, this wasn't the greatest game, but I thought it was an interesting game. It was fairly entertaining. And looking at the detailed report here, obviously that really fun moment on the Kronstadt, that was, you know, 54,000 damage in the space of like 22 seconds. That's pretty fun. That's why you get this ship. The King George, just showing here that I fired a mix of AP and HE. I just decided the HE would be more reliable at a certain point, and I just wanted him dead. And obviously the Cossack, key moment in the game there. I wasn't too afraid of the Cossack because of how many torpedoes he has, but obviously I didn't want to get killed off by him, and I avoided most damage and kill him off. That was pretty good. And lastly, just showing you the credit earning. So the credits, it was 493,000 credits, and then after cost. And this is obviously without premium and without anything else. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Hopespoir, signing off.